parents here tonight. We're going to be introducing all of those involved in the volleyball program along with their parents. We're going to start with our managers and statistician. David Fensky is one of our managers. His parents are Matt and Jody Fensky, Brookings, South Dakota. Sophie Abramson from Clara City, Minnesota. Her parents, Reverend Joseph and Mary Abramson. And Jocelyn Gosh from Rapid City. Her parents, Brian and Heather Gosh. And now our freshman players. Anna Bush from Rapid City. Her parents, Robert and Robin Bush. Erica Jutinen from Bryant, South Dakota. Her parents, Dave and Colleen Jutinen. Aaliyah Trueblood from Sioux Falls. Karen Trueblood is her grandmother. Our sophomore volleyball players, Emily Ashton from Wetaskiwin, Alberta, Canada. Parents, Alan and Carol Ashton. Or brother and friend. Not Alan and Carol. Caitlin Bendix from Watertown, South Dakota. Jeff and Darcy Bendix are her parents. Miranda Bisick from Rapid City, South Dakota. Perry and Lori Bisick are her parents. Alexis Scharlman from Olivia, Minnesota. Her parents, Nathan and Mindy Scharlman. Paxton Schultz from Russell, Minnesota. Her parents, Justin and Lori Schultz. And Sarah Werner from Marshall, Minnesota. Her parents, Tom and Melanie Werner. Our junior volleyball players. Carly Heil from Marshall, Minnesota. Her parents, Craig and Kristen Heil. Katie Johnson from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Penny Johnson and Todd Johnson. Kristen Cluck from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Mike and Jody Cluck. Krista Kirkmeyer from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Amy and Terry Riley. Brianna Peterson from Clear Lake, South Dakota. Her mother, Kathy Schiffelbein, and her father, David Peterson and April Peterson. Kendra Schlecht from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Morgan and Valerie Schlecht. And Vanessa Steinmetz from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents, Al and Marquay Steinmetz. And our senior volleyball players playing their last home volleyball game. Anna Fritzy from Watertown, South Dakota. Robin Beto is her mother. Morgan Gosh from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Donovan and Angela Gosh are her parents. Natalie Lent from Watertown, South Dakota. Brian and Sharon Lent are her parents. She also has a brother. Reagan Scone from Watertown, South Dakota. Her parents are Les and Tammy Scone. Thank you, parents. Thank you, volleyball players. Thank you, GPL fans, for a great season.
As was mentioned, tonight is Dig Pink Night. GPL fans, Waverly South Shore fans, if you want to take a moment while we have a break in the action to go check out the goodies outside in the commons as well as other items. Everything that is raised tonight goes to Cottington County Cares. Throughout the evening, we'll be announcing some of the prize winners, so hold on to your pink volleyballs and other items because they'll become important down the road. Good evening and welcome to Great Plains Lutheran High School. Tonight is Dig Pink Night, Parents' Night, and Senior Night. At this time, we would invite you to stand, face the American flag, remove your caps, place your hand over your heart, and give respect to our American flag as the Great Plains senior volleyball players sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good job, girls. Good job. Let's put it here. Tonight's ECC game is between the Waverly South Shore Coyotes and the Great Plains Lutheran High School Panthers. The two schools participating in this event are members in good standing of the South Dakota High School Activities Association, which have adopted the rules under which the games are conducted. A strong commitment to excellence, fair play, and sportsmanship are all vital to this activity's success. Remember, good sportsmanship begins with you. We'd like to welcome our guests for tonight's contest, the Waverly South Shore Coyotes. Here are their starters. A 5'6" senior, number 2, Kylie Carpenter. A 5'4" junior, number 4, Erin Gomez. A 5'8" junior, number 6, Peyton Gomez. A 5'6" junior, the libero, number 8, Ashley Lindberg. A 6' junior, number 9, Allie Kranz. A 5'5" senior, number 11, Hunter Breitzman. A 5'9" junior, number 14, Sarah Teen. The Coyotes are coached by Sherry Reed, assisted by Danielle Schonenbaum and Terry Hagerson. And now our junior Panthers for this evening. From Redwood Falls, 8th graders Ellie Charlemagne and Paige Shore. And now, the starters for your Great Plains Lutheran Panthers. A 5'6" senior, number 1, Reagan Scone. A 5'11" senior, number 7, Natalie Lent. A 5'9" senior, number 12, Anna Fritzy. A 5'9" senior, number 10, Morgan Gosh. A 5'9" sophomore, number 12, Sarah Warner. A 5'10" junior, number 15, Kendra Schlecht. And a 5'6" junior, the libero, number 25, Kristen Kluck. The Panthers are coached by Luke Rodewald and assisted by Gina Radu and Cheryl Zeck. The officials for tonight's game are David Kraus and Connie Connect. Let's play volleyball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aiden Holine. I am a senior here at Great Plains Lutheran High School, and I will be your volleyball commentator tonight for the matchup between the Great Plains Lutheran Panthers and the Waverly South Shore Coyotes. Tonight is the regular season finale for both teams. Should be a very good matchup. These teams did face off earlier this year. They put in Waverly about a month ago. No, I shouldn't say a month ago. A couple weeks back. Waverly did win that game in 4 sets, but each set was pretty close. But I feel like tonight should be a little more balanced. Or I shouldn't say more balanced. I think this game will go into at least 4, possibly 5 sets. And because our setter, Reagan Scone, did not play the last game, she was out with a sprained ankle. So I think this game will be, very, very back and forth. We do have a packed house here tonight. His parents' night is also Dig Pink Night. I'll get into that, what that means a little bit later. The Panthers do come in with a record of, I believe, 12-12, and Waverly comes in with a record of 16-10, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. It's around that, 16-12, 17-11. I'm not entirely sure. One quick note: I will be going out. I will not be talking during timeouts due to, we'll have music being played, and just to avoid copyright issues and stuff like that, we're not going to have that over the live stream. So we're just going to avoid that altogether. But yeah, so tonight's Parents' Night, also Dig Pink Night. That means, we have a bunch of stuff out in our gym commons, a bunch of fundraisers and stuff like that that will go towards breast cancer research and stuff like that. It's a huge turnout. It's a great thing that our school does. Now, like I said, Panthers come in 12-12, winners of 2 straight, and Waverly comes in, I believe, 16-10 or 17-11, something like that. All right, getting things started off. FYI, I will be a little, what's the word? I won't be as quick, I should say, with the commentary at the start of the game, just because, I know all the girls who play for GPL, but I do not know all the girls who play for Waverly, so if I'm a bit slow announcing names, that is why. We're going to have Gosh with the middle hit here, and it'll be a dig by Brightsman to Comes, and now it's Carpenter trying to hit it from the back row, and it'll fall into the net, and the Panthers get their first point of tonight's matchup. All right, Sarah Warner, 5'9" sophomore from Marshall, Minnesota, on the serve now. Serve received by Carpenter to Comes. That's Lindberg. Got the tip there by Lent, and the Coyotes recover. Nice job. The Coyotes do have the conference title locked up so far, so nothing will change that. But I believe if the Panthers knock off Waverly tonight, I believe they'll get second place in the conference. But if they lose, I think the second place will go to Florence. I'm not entirely sure. It's something like that. I'm not entirely sure. All right, Aaron Comas. There's a couple Comases on the team, so if it gets kind of confusing, that's probably why. We have number 4, Aaron Comas, who just served. Another Comas, Peyton Comas, 5'8" junior. They both get playing time, so if it gets confusing, I am sorry. I will do my best. We'll have Lynn with the hit there. A little fly over the back, and just barely go out. Oh, that was pretty close. And the Coyotes take an early 4-1 lead in the first set. Comas in the serve once again. Serve received by Cluck to Scone to Lent. That's Lindberg to Comas to Kranz, I believe. Allie Kranz, 6' junior. Good point for the Panthers as it hits the net and falls down. Morgan Gosh now takes a seat for Kendra Schlecht. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Comas with the set. And I believe that was number 15, Emily Kranz. There's 2 different Kranzes that are out there. Emily Kranz, a 6'1" freshman. Yikes. She's a tall girl. And Allie Kranz, like I said before, the 6' junior. Speaking of Allie Kranz, she is up to serve here. Serve received by Fritzy to Scone to Cluck. That's, you can see that was, I think that was, well, just a barely tip over there by Sarah Thyen. As a playing a little ping pong here. And it'll go out off of Fritzy. And a point for the Coyotes. And they have a 6-2 lead. And, Rand's on the serve now. Barely getting over that. That's Cluck with the serve receive. DeLent to Schlecht. And that'll hit the net and fall down. 7-2. Kranz on the serve. Serve received by Cluck. To Schlecht. To Lent. It's Kranz. To Kranz. Oh, that was Comas to Kranz. To, I believe that was Lindbergh. And it'll fall in an unprotected zone. And it'll be a timeout for the Panthers. And I'll be right back. All right, I am back, folks. During the timeout and like throughout the course of the game, what they sometimes do, or what we do on our Dig Pick night, is that you can purchase a pink volleyball with a number on it. There's a certain number, and throughout the game they'll call off 4 or 5 numbers, and when your number is called, everyone's gonna get called off. But if you get called off sooner, then like the better prize you can get. You can go to this like prize table and stuff like that. It's really cool. We'll have Carpenter with a hit there, and that will fly out. 3.4 GPL. The lead is now 5, 8-3. And a Fritzy on the serve. Serve received by Kranz to Comas to Carpenter. And that barely gets over. Miscommunication with the Panthers. It'll fall 9-3. Lindbergh on the serve now. 5'6" junior. Serve received by Fritzy. Nice effort to Scone. Back to Fritzy with the pushover. That's Carpenter to Comas. And Kranz in the back. And they're going to give the point to Waverly as it was tipped out by GPL. Lindbergh on the serve. And good decision by Cluck to let that one go as it flies out. Lentz on the serve now. Serve received by Carpenter. I couldn't see who that was, but that was Comas, and that was Kranz that got blocked there by Warner. And that's Comas that knocked it over there. We're going to have Schlecht to the middle hit coming. It's a dig by Lindbergh to Comas. That was Thyen who was blocked. Or no, that was Comas. They're going to give the point to GPL as they're going to call a lift on Waverly. The lead is back down to 5 now, 10-5. We're going to have Kranz hitting it over. That's a dig by, that was Cluck to Scone to Warner, who knocked it into the net there. I do like the comment here from Kendra Cluck, one of the seniors last year. She says, write a paper or watch the Panthers. Watch the Panthers. Good answer. And that was Schlecht to the middle hit. And she'll get the kill for her first of the night, as it is now 11-6. And speaking of Schlecht, she is up to serve now for GPL. Serve received by Carpenter, and Comas will just knock it right over. He's going with the set to Warner. Dig by Lindbergh. Nice job by the Coyotes to keep that one in play. F's going with the middle set to Gosh. And that'll go just out. Missed it by about a foot, it looks like. Be a point for Waverly. Up 6, 12 to 6. Carpenter on the serve. Serve received by Lent to Scone with the push. Waverly wasn't ready for it, but Lindbergh has a great effort there. She did what's called the pancake, I believe, in volleyball. Not entirely sure. It's where the ball lands and you stick your hand right on it. The ball bounces right off your hand. It's a great effort there, but the Panthers still get the point there. Scone on the serve now for GPL. Serve received by Carpenter to Gomez to, I believe that was Crayons. We have Fritzy with the outside hit. And that's Lindbergh to Gomez to Crayons with the push. That's Lent to Scone to Warner. And she'll whiff on the hit there. And it's Coyotes. Said it is the Coyotes who get the point there. 13-7. And we'll have Comas on the server. She is a very, very good server. And of course, you know, as I said, I should serve it than that, you know. Maybe I should do that every time. But it is one of those things where, I mean, if she is up to serve, you better be ready because she can serve. She's very, very good at that. All right, Sarah Warner on the serve now. And she'll serve it right back into that, give the Coyotes their free point back. Comas now on the serve for Waverly. Serve received by Clock to Scone to Lent. Nice dig by Carpenter to Comas. To, I believe that was Thyen. It was partially hit, tipped. I believe that was Gosh. It'll fall. And lead is now 7, 15-8 Waverly. Service on there by Gomez. He's going with a set to Lent. And that'll just be out. Wow. Everyone thought that one was in, but it flies out just a bit there. It's now 16-8. Gomez on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Fritzy. Just going with the push. That's Lindbergh to Gomez to Crayons. And that'll hit the net and fall down. Point GPL. And Kendra Select checks back in for Morgan Gosh. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh to Gomez to Crayons with the push. That's Scone to Fritzy to Select with the push. And nice dig there by Carpenter, but you can't keep that one in play. The point for GPL. 16-10 in favor of Waverly now. Cluck on the serve once again. Serve received by Crayons to Gomez to the other Crayons. And they'll hit the net and fall down. Point GPL. GPL's on a little 4-0 run, and Waverly calls a timeout. And we are back coming out of the timeout. We'll see what happens. Let's see if Waverly got regrouped there and they can take control of this first set and win it. We have Crayons with a hit there. That will fly out, almost hitting Boy Tesh, our photographer. Point Panthers on a 4-0 run now. The lead is now back down to 4, 16-12. Click on the serve once again. It's Lindbergh Bad dig there, and Lent was ready for it. Point GPL. The lead is 3. See, this is what happened when we played in Waverly earlier this year. Is that in the first set we were down 21-5, and we went on this huge run, and I think we ended up losing the first set 25-21 or something like that. It was crazy. We're gonna have Kranz here on the push. Nice job by Lent. And Scone got that one over. We have Comus with the set out to Kranz with the push. Nice job by Cluck. That's Scone to Lent, and that'll hit the pole. Point ending GPL's 5-0 run.
Now serving for the Coyotes, number 9, Kranz.
Ali Kranz on the serve, and nice job by Cluck to let that one go. Point Panthers 17-14 in favor of Waverly. Fritz in the serve. Serve received by Kranz to Comes to the other Kranz. We'll have a Schlucht in the middle hit here, and just goes out. It was about a foot out, and we have point for the Coyotes. It is now 4. Lindbergh on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone, out to Lent, and they're going to say that was tipped. Are they going to? They're going to say that one was tipped. Point GPL. The lead is back down to 3. It's been these points going back and forth here.
Now serving for the Great Plains, Natalie Lent.
We will see what happens. Lent on the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh to Comes, out to Mackenzie Kranz, or Emily Kranz, I should say. Schlecht here. Now it's Lindbergh with the dig to Comes, to the other Comes. Nice dig by Lent to get it right back over. We're going to have a Carpenter with a hit, and she'll whiff on that one and go under the net there. The lead is down to 2. GPL trying to make a huge comeback here. Lent in the serve. Serve received by Kranz to Comes, out to Emily Kranz. And she'll get the kill. Lead is back up to 3, 16-19.
Checking in for the Coyotes, number 11, Brightsman. Now serving.
Brightsman on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone, out to Warner. And that one will fly high. Warner's not playing. I don't think she's gotten one yet, but sooner or later, I know she'll get a hold of one. 16-20 in favor of Waverly. It's Brightsman on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone, to Warner. A nice job. So I said she get a hold of it. It's a point for the Panthers.
Now serving for the Panthers, 15, Kendra Schlecht.
Schlecht on the serve now for GPL. As Cluck takes a seat, as Morgan Gosh came back in, and Schlecht will serve that one into the net, giving a free point right back to GPL, to Waverly, as she now gets subbed out for Kristen Cluck. Coming right back in. Carpenter on the serve. Serve received by Lent to Scone, to Gosh, just barely tipping it over. Waverly was ready for it. We'll have Kranz with the push. That's Cluck to Scone, to Gosh again. Dig by Brightsman. Warner's going to tip it over. Waverly was ready for it. We have Carpenter knocking it over. That's Fritzy to Scone, to Warner. Brightsman with the dig. To Carpenter, to Comes. We're going to have Gosh on the hit over. And that's Kranz to Comes, to the other Comes. But that one will fly out. Point GPL, 21-18. Reagan Scone now up to serve, the 5'6" senior from Watertown. Serve received by Brightsman. And Waverly did communicate there. It is now point for GPL. The lead is back down to 2, 21-19. Serve received by Brightsman with a diving dig there. Nice job by her. That's Lent to Scone, out to Warner. That one's going to fly out.
Out of bounds, point Coyotes. Now serving for Waverly South Shore, number 6, Peyton Coleman.
Comas on the serve now. And that barely gets over. Nice dig there by Cluck. She'll push it over, barely getting over. Of Comas to outside to Kranz. Nice dig by Cluck. To Scone. To Gosh with the back set. A nice idea there by Comas. It was the right idea. I mean, GPL wasn't ready for it, but it just landed out, and it will be a point for GPL. Down 22-20. I mean, they were out of it early. It was 16-8. But, I mean, they made a huge, huge comeback. And the lead is back down to 2 now. That was Theon on the hit there. Went with the dig. Went again. Dig by Breitzman. Grant to the push. And Warner tried to get to it. I don't know if she should have gotten that. I think Cluck was right over. But it's now 23-20. Kranz now checking back in for Breitzman for Waverly. Comas on the serve. Serve received by Lent. To Scone. To Fritzy in the middle. Dig by Kranz to Comas. To the other Kranz. And that looked like a lift. I don't know. It looked like she picked that one up and threw it over. Regardless, point Coyotes up 24-20. Set point here for Waverly. Comas on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone to Lent. And it'll be out, and it'll be a point for Waverly as they win this first set 25-20. And now we're back in 3 minutes with the second set. I am back here with the second set. The Coyotes took the first set 25-20 if you missed it. Guys, I'm kind of sad. Tonight, I mean, I'm a senior, and this is our last home volleyball game. This will be the last time I'm doing commentary. Now, most of you at home are probably like, oh my goodness, thank you. He's finally done. His commentary was awful. It's just, thank you. But no, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for sticking with through thick and thin. You know, I knew I wasn't the best commentator, but I mean, I obviously wasn't best college. I'm not even close. But thank you for putting up with me for 2 years, and I honestly won't miss it. You know, I think I will. I mean, you know, when I'm at college, we're like, wow. I mean, I'm sure whoever's in replacement will be much, much, much better than me. But, you know, we'll see what happens. All right, Kylie Carpenter on the serve now for Waverly to start off the second set. That's Cluck with the serve received to Warner to Scone, hitting it over. That was Lindbergh to Comas to the other Comas, and it was in barely though. And Waverly gets the first point of the second set, I should say. Carpenter on the serve. Serve received by Warner to Select. And that's Warner with the kill. And Panthers get the point. And the whole student section comes back alive. Coming out of nowhere. If you can't hear it, that's the roar. Just going on the serve. Serve received by Breitzman. Kranz with the push. That's Cluck to Scone to Gosh in the middle with the push right over. That's Comas to Kranz, back to Comas. Should just tip it right over. That's Fritzy to Warner. That's Breitzman to Comas. To the other Comas. Oh, that was a little miscommunication. We recovered. Gosh with a hit there. Nice dig by Breitzman. That's Cluck. So that's Lent hitting it. That's Carpenter to Comas. To the other Comas. And it'll be partial left by Gosh and fall down. Point GPL, or not GPL, Waverly. Now I will make a public service announcement. I will make this later, a couple of times later actually. But like I said, today is the regular season finale for both teams and GPL and both teams, I should say. And the playoffs will start next Monday in Webster. I'm not sure exactly what the time or what times each game will start, but GPL, I believe, I'll talk about this a little more later, but they are locked into the 8th seed. I don't think there's anything they can do to change that. I believe they'll play Britton Hecla. So, I mean, that should be a very winnable game, but if they play that, they'll have to end up probably playing the defending state champions in Northwestern, so we will see. But yeah, so that'll be in Webster next Monday. I'm not sure what time it is exactly, but yes. So it'll be great to see if some of you could come out and support our team. I mean, you never know. I mean, it could be the last time you could see them play this season. But as I was saying, with the whole seeding thing, I mean, you have Northwestern with the 1 seed, and they're top dog. You know, I think they're practically untouchable in the state. Followed by Warner. Yeah, Northwestern has a record of like I believe 27-1 or 28-1. I'm not entirely sure. Followed by Warner, who's about like 25-4 or something like that. Then it's Langford. Then followed by then Wilmont. I mean, they passed up Waverly a bit back. Then it's Clark, then Florence Henry, and then us, and then Britton Hecla, and then Wabash Summit, and then Aberdeen Christian bringing up the rear. So, so there's 11 teams in total. Not entirely sure. I mean, we are 500. That just shows you. But the thing is I did look at a bunch of different regions, and with the amount of seed points we have, I mean, we would play, or not we would play. We do end up, we would probably end up about the same placing as we do at most regions. We'd probably be a little higher, but, I mean, when you have 2 of probably the best teams in state, there's not much you can do about it. So, like I said, next Monday in Webster, we'll probably take on the Britton Hecla Braves. I think we should be able to get the win there, then move on to the next round, but we will see. All right, back to the action. It is 6-4 in favor of Waverly. And miscommunication by the Coyotes gave Panthers a free point. It is 6-5 in favor of Waverly. Waverly jumped out to an early lead and maintained it for a while in the first set, but GPL made a bit of a comeback, pulled it to within 22-20, I believe, and then Waverly scored the last 3 points. Maybe a point for, but GPL ended up losing that first set. It is now 7-5 after Kranz got the kill. We'll have Lindbergh on the serve. Serve received by Fritzy to Scone to Warner and blocked by Kranz. 3 point for Waverly, up 3 now, 8-5. Was Lindbergh on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone. That was Fritzy knocking it over. That's Kranz to Comes to the other Comes. We're going to have Schlecht taking it over. That's Lindbergh to Kranz to Comas with the push. That's Lent to Scone to Schlecht with the kill. Nice job by Kendra Schlecht. 3 point for GPL. Back within 2, 8-6.
Now serving for the Panthers, number 12, Werner.
Sarah Warner on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter. To Comas with a bad set. Either they were a bad set or got partially blocked there. And we have point for GPL within 1 now, 8-7. Warner on the serve. Serve received by Kranz. Nice job. And Lindbergh will knock it over. That's Fritzy to Scone to Schlecht. Partially blocked there. But Kranz couldn't get to that one. 3 point for GPL. Tied it back up. It's 8-all. Warner on the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh. To Comas knocking it over. That's Warner to Scone. Scone, I should say. And nice take by Lent. And Comas couldn't get to that. And the Panthers took the lead for probably the first time in the game, I believe, almost. If not the first time. Now we're back in about 60 seconds after the timeout is finished. All right, I'm back coming out of that timeout. We'll have Sarah Warner on the serve coming out of the timeout, taken by Waverly. That barely gets over the net there. Kranz was not ready for that one. It'll be a point for GPL once again, up 10-8. Warner on the serve. And that hits the net and falls down. Giving a free point right back to the Coyotes.
Checking in, number 11, Hunter Brightsman.
Hunter Brightsman comes in for Mackenzie Kranz, and she is up to serve. And that hits the net and falls down. 3 point for GPL.
Serving for Panthers 15, Schlecht.
Kendra Schlecht on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Comas, and Carpenter whips once again on the hit. Point Panthers up 3, 12-9. Schlecht on the serve. Serve received by Kranz to Comas to Thyen. That was blocked by Lent. Coyotes can't recover. It flies into the stands. Point Panthers up 4, 13-9. Let's see if they can. Let's see if they can control this second set here and get win the second set. Schlecht on the serve, and that barely goes out there. Good call. And Waverly with the point there. It's 13-10 as Kylie Carpenter up to serve once again. Serve received by Fritzy, and that will fly out. And Carpenter will get the ace, I should say. Now this is a very young Coyotes team. It looks like we got Carpenter as a senior and a girl named Bailey Schlotterbeck. Schlotterbeck, I should say, is a senior. She doesn't. It looks like she doesn't get much playing time though. And either that or she might be hurt. And also Brightsman, she's also a senior. Everyone else is returning, so this will be a very scary team next year. So we will see. I mean, I don't think that we got them to beat a Northwestern or Warner, but I mean they could contend. You never know. Comas on the serve. Nice serve by Comas. As Clark with the serve receive to Scone to Gosh there. That's Crayons. Dig by Warner to Scone. Out to Lent. And she got the kill. Playing it like that, but that's how it happens. Maybe a point for GPL. 15-12. Scone, or Lent on the serve, I should say. That's Lindbergh to Thyan. Oh no, that was Comas. And then it was a Crayons hitting it over. Now it's Warner on the hit there. Dig by Lindbergh to Comas to Crayons. And good decision. That flies out. 16-12 Panthers. Lentz on the serve. Serve received by Crayons. To Comas with the back set. Nice dig by Scone. That'll get over for GPL. It's Comas to Crayons. And nice job by Lent to let that one go. 2.4 Panthers, and Waverly calls their second timeout. The last of the second set, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds. All right, coming out of the timeout, Lent a 5'11" senior on the serve there. Nice dig by Lindbergh. I should say serve receive to Comas to Crayons with a tip over. Saw that coming. Maybe a point for Waverly coming out of the timeout.
Checking in, number 15, Emily Crayons. Serving number 4, Comas.
Comas in the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone, out to Warner. That's Comas to Carpenter. Bad set. And Fritzy was ready for it, but she got a piece of it in the net. Nice job by Fritzy to get that one over. Good effort. And that was Crayons. That's Cluck to Scone to Gosh. And she'll hit that one into the net. Coyotes get 2 points right out of the gate here. That's Comas on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone with the push. And Coyotes weren't ready for that one. Point GPO. Getting their first point since the timeout.
Now serving number 25, Cluck.
Kristen Cluck on the serve now for GPL. They're going to have Cranes with a push there. Sorry, we're having a bit of technical difficulties. So just bear with us as the game goes along. I will try my best. So there's any time there's like audio cutting out, that is why. The Panthers have amassed a 21-14 lead, taking control of the second set. Very nice job here by GPL. Let's see if they can hold on to this lead and win the second set and tie it up 1 apiece. Clicking the serve, seriously by Lindbergh to Gomez, to Kranz with the push. That's Scone to Fritzy knocking it over. That's Carpenter to Gomez, to Kranz with the push. And they're going to call her over the line, I believe. Yep. 22-14 GPL. See if the girls can close out Waverly here. Cocking the serve. And that one hits net and falls down. Point for Waverly South Shore. Cranes on the serve. Serve received by Fritzy to Scone to Cluck. And that one will fly out back. Quick back-to-back points for Waverly. Pins got to get a couple points to feel comfortable here. Serve received there by Cluck. We have Lindbergh to Gomez to Carpenter. Nice hit there by Carpenter. That's Warner with the push. We have Krantz the tip. And that one will land out though. It's 23-16 in favor of GPL. Fritz in the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Gomez to Thigh, and that was blocked. Missed out by Gomez. And we're going to have Warner on the push there. That was blocked. And Schlegel hit that one into the net. Point Coyotes. We have Lindbergh now on the serve. Serve received by, I didn't see who that was there, sorry. And Scone hit that one in the net. Waverly's making a bit of a comeback here. 23-18. I mean, Great Plains still has to get 2 more, but I mean, nice to close on a little earlier here, save some energy. It's Lindbergh to Cluck to, I believe that was Scone. There's Warner knocking it over. Cranch to the pushover. We're going to have Cluck knocking it over. That was Cohen's knocking it over. We'll have Schlecht here with the hit. And that was Lindbergh, and that'll fly. Oh, wow. That was a bit controversial. Point. That looked out. But it'll be in point for Coyotes. That was Lindbergh on the serve. Serviced by Cluck to Scone. Out to Warner. That's out. The Coyotes are within 3 now. And Coach will take his first time out of this second set. Now we're back in about 60 seconds. Alrighty. And I am back now here. With the, I can't hear myself. And that'll fly out. That was Comas hitting there, but it flew out. Point Panthers now within 1, 24-20. Warner on the serve, and that'll hit the net and fall down. It's back to a 3-point lead. Coach Whittle's obviously getting very frustrated. I mean, they're giving so many 3 points right back to Waverly.
Checking in for the Coyotes, number 11, Brightsman. Now serve.
Brightsman on the serve. Panthers need one more. It's still set point. Serve received by Fritzy to Scone to Schlecht, and she will land it. I'm sorry I said that, but she lands it. 25-21 GPL. And now we're back in about 3 minutes to see who will win the third set. All right, I am back now here with the third set. GPL took the second set 25-21, but it is still a 1-. They split set so far as Waverly won the first set 25-20. Reagan Scone now, 5'16" from Watertown, on the serve to start the third set. Serve received by Brightsman. Comas with another tip by Kranz. She'll get it over. Gosh, blocked it. Be a point four, not point four. So I'm getting everything messed up right now. We're going to have Kranz with the hit over. That's Scone to Warner to Fritzy hitting it over. That's Lindbergh to Comas to the other Comas. Still got the kill and gave Waverly the first point coming out of the third set.
Now serving for the Coyotes, number 6, Gomez.
And speaking of Erin Gomez, or should I say Peyton Gomez, she's a number 6 is Peyton Gomez, number 4 is Erin Gomez. That's how it works. Warner on the service receive, just going to Gosh, and she'll get the kill. As Brightsman couldn't get to that one in time. The point for GPL, knotting this one up at 1 apiece. Lent on the serve. Serve received by Crayons to Gomez, to Thyan. Dig by Lent. That'll go right next to the net. Nice job by Scone. Lent with the push. That's Brightsman to Gomez with the push. Scone was ready for that one. Warner with the hit. And Waverly cannot get that one back over. It is 2-1. Lent in the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh. That one flies out. It's an ace for Lent. That was Lent on the serve, I should say. Sorry. We're going to have Gosh in the middle hit here. And that was a nice hit there. But it will not be quite for a kill as Brightsman recovered there. Oh, wow. Gosh had to tip that one over. That did not work out very well, but it still barely got over the net. We're going to have Warner on the hit here. She got a hold of it, but Lindbergh got it. And we're going to have, that was Krenz on the hit there. That's Cluck to Scone to Fritzy. Lindbergh with the dig. It's to Brightsman off of Lindbergh's dig, and that's Stein knocking it over. That's Scone to Warner. Dig by Carpenter to Gomez to Crayons. That's Cluck to Lent to Scone. Nice effort there by our girls. We're going to have Crayons with the outside hit. That's Cluck to Scone in the middle to Gosh. She'll tip it over. We have Crayons and hitting it again. That's Cluck to Scone to Lent. We have Brightsman to Gomez to Thyan. That was partially blocked by Warner, but she lost where that one was at. The point for the Coyotes.
Substitution in for the Coyotes, number 15, Emily Crayons. Gomez now serving.
Gomez on the serve now for Waverly. Serve received by Lent to Scone. They side by the Panthers after that one's partially blocked. That's Crayons to Lindman. That was Coleman's knocking it over. We're going to have Warner with the outside push. And can't recover. It'll be a point.
Point Panthers.
Point for the Panthers.
Serving for Great Plains, number 25, Kristen Cluck.
And we'll have Morgan Gosh now taking a seat for Kendra Schlecht. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Lindman. And a couple blocks there by Schlecht. And the point for GPL up 5-2. Let's see if they can maintain this lead throughout this third set. And Lydia Schroeder getting her first action of tonight, coming in for Hunter Brightsman. Cluck on the serve for GPL. Serve received by Carpenter to Gomez to Emily Crayons. We have one with the outside tip there. I'm gonna say that was blocked by Crayons. He wasn't ready for that one. 6-2. We have Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Crayons to Gomez, who couldn't get to it. 7-2. And the Coyotes taking timeout now. We'll be back in about 60 seconds with the next timeout. Or with the next action. You know what I was saying. All right, coming out of the timeout, we'll have Kristen Cluck, the 5'6" junior from here in Watertown on the serve. That was shorter on the serve, or serve receive, I should say. Let's go with the push, and just a bit too much muscle there, as it will fly out.
Now serving for the Coyotes, number 9, Crayons.
Crayons on the serve for Waverly. Serve received by Cluck to Scone to Warner. And that went right at the net. Didn't know who had that one. It'll be a point for the Panthers, up 8-3.
Now serving for the Panthers, number 9, Fritzy.
First in the serve. Serve received by Crayons to, you can see that with those Comas to Thyan for Waverly. We'll have kind of just select on the hit there. That's Schroeder to Comas to Crayons. That was blocked right there by Kendra Select. It'll fall back 9-3 in favor of GPL. Fritzy on the serve. Serve received by Schroeder to Comas to Thyan. We're gonna have Select there on the hit there. That was Schroeder to Comas to Carpenter with the push. Now it's going with the set out to Warner, so to tip it over, but that's blocked by Crayons.
Point Coyotes.
Be a point for the Coyotes.
Substitution in to be number 6, Peyton Comas.
Peyton Coleman, little miscommunication on the rotation. I believe Peyton Comas wants to come in for Lydia Schroeder. I don't know exactly what's up with that, but yeah. All right, after that, we'll have Thyan now on the serve. 5'9" junior, Sarah Thyan. Looks like the Waverly coach, Sherry Reed, still talking to one of the officials. Not entirely sure what about. It'll be a point for, I don't know what's up with that. We're gonna have Miranda Bisick, 5'3" sophomore from Rapid City, getting her first action of tonight's game, coming in for Sarah Warner. I believe they're just talking about some rotation errors and stuff. Another public service announcement. If you didn't hear it earlier, our volleyball team will travel to Webster next Monday for their first game of the postseason, as today is their last game of the regular season. I believe they will take on Britain Hecla. It's almost a for sure thing now. And then I believe if they win, they'll play on Tuesday. It is great to see that. I mean, like, what happens a lot of times when our girls are, like, down or something like that, they're just, they don't relax. They don't have fun. I mean, like, when they don't relax or have fun, they get up all uptight, they get angry, and they don't play very well. When they're relaxed, having fun, laughing and stuff like that, they do play very well. And if they can get a win here, it will give them really good confidence leading up to the postseason. A bit of upcoming school events. Our football season already wrapped up. Wrapped up last Friday, October 13th. Our cross country team, their season finished for boys and girls on Saturday in Rapid City with a state meet. Our girls, we had 2 girls. We had 2 girls, Chloe Coleman and Hannah Krotz. I don't remember what place Chloe got, but I know Hannah finished better out of the two, and she got 31st, I think, 30th or 31st, not entirely sure. But for our guys, we had people who placed pretty well. I think we took 6th overall as a team, and I believe that was third or fourth best in school history. So that was great to see. We had Ryan Mertz placing 17th overall, Jordan with at 25th, and I believe they made a couple runners after that. But those are the two guys that medaled, so it was great to see that. I don't know if you would classify this as a sport, but our Orland team is in the middle of their season. They're traveling to a lot of meets. They had a meet today. I'm not entirely sure where at, but I mean, like they do play. I wouldn't say they go play, but they do go to a lot of different meets. I believe they went to Sioux Falls last weekend on Friday, Saturday. From what Mr. Martin's their head coach was talking about, I mean, they were beating a lot of schools. I mean, they were just killing everybody. Most of you guys know I'm a football player, and so I have no clue what they're talking about. I think they're talking about, rotations and stuff like that. But I'm a football player, so I really don't know, who's who and stuff, or like what are the rulings and stuff like that. All right, it finally looks like they have everything cleared up, and we'll get this game back underway.
Checking into the Panthers, number 3, Miranda Bisick.
All right, as I said earlier, Miranda Bisick from Rapid City, South Dakota, getting her first action of tonight's game. As Sarah Warren takes a seat. Bisick on the serve, service received by Lindbergh to Comas. Out, that was Carpenter in the middle. She couldn't get to that one. It is 11-4 now, GPL, if you forgot the score. Bisick on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Lindbergh. To Kranz, hitting it over. That's Fritzy. To Scone. To Lent with the kill. This time by Lent. Point for the Panthers. It's 12-4. Panthers with an 8-point lead. Bisick on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter. To Comas. To Kranz. That flies out. Point GPL. It's 13-4. Let's see if the Panthers can keep this really nice streak going here. Bisick on the serve again. That's Carpenter on the serve receive to Comas and to Kranz, who gets it into the net and falls down. 14-4 GPL. And of a substitution now, Emily Kranz now getting subbed out for Katie Huffman, a 5'6" junior. There's a lot of juniors on this team. So there's 16 players and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are juniors. Sorry, a bit audio issues right there. All right, in the meantime, Waverly did get their first point in a while. We have number 7, Billy Richter getting her first action of tonight's game. We have Cluck on the hit there. That's Comas. To the other Comas, back to the first Comas. He took it to kill. It's a quick back-to-back points for GPL, not GPL, Waverly South Shore. Have a Richter on the serve. Serve received by Warner to Scone to Lent. The dig there by Kranz to Comas, to the other Comas. And that'll fall in the net. Nice job by GPL to get that one back over. We'll have Comas with the push, I should say. So at the middle hit there, and it'll fly out. Select with the kill. I think she'll be GPL's main hitter next year after Natalie Lenton graduates. I mean, we are. I mean, you know, at the beginning of this season, I was talking about. I mean, the first game of the season was a home game, so I was talking about this year. What by people was almost expected to be more of a rebuilding year, if we're being honest. I mean, we graduated 7, 8 seniors, I think, or something. And all of them got playing. I would say all of them. Most of them got playing time, and so I mean, we lost a lot. And so I mean, this most people thought was going to be a year where we were just going to regroup, get a lot of younger people playing time, and then go from there. But you know, I mean, the girls, I mean, they went to a lot of camps, they busted their butts over the summer, and it's proved, I mean, it's just, I mean, there's a lot of new faces getting playing time this year. So, I mean, there's not a lot of juniors on the team that get a lot of playing time, and we have Kristen Cluck's a junior and Kendra Schlecht's a junior. Most of everybody else are either sophomores or seniors. And our 4 seniors, they get most of the playing time. I think Gosh is really the one that ever gets subbed out. Everyone else stays in the whole game. So I mean, they will be missed. I'm not saying they won't be missed, but I mean, we'll have a lot of young talent coming back. And the Panthers up 19-7, taking control of the second set. So yeah, I mean, it's great to see the girls get to a 500 record. If they can get the win tonight, I mean, that means they will, you know, probably finish with at least a 500 record going into this, going into the postseason. I mean, they'll finish up the season at 13-12, and so they'll go into the postseason with a record of 13-12. If they get the first one of the season, they'll be 14-12, and if not, if they lose, they'll finish with a 500 record. I believe Coach Rodwell told me after school today that if they do get 14 wins, they'll be the second most in school history. And I'll be back in about 60 seconds with the next part of the game, I guess. I don't really know. Alrighty, coming out of the timeout. I mean, I don't think there's much Waverly can do. I mean, they can make a huge comeback if they try, but it'll be pretty hard. I think they'll just have to wait to the 4th set to win that one. Scone on the serve, coming out of the timeout. That's Richter to Comas to Kranz. There's Cluck to Scone to Lent. Dig by Lindbergh to Comas, to the other Comas, and Cluck thought that was going to go out, but it'll land. It's 21-8. But yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, I mean, with a core, I mean, we have a lot of juniors in the team. I mean, most of them don't get playing time, but trust me, they will get a fair amount next year. And we do have a couple sophomores too. I mean, a couple of stoppers on the varsity roster. We have Miranda Bisek, who got a little bit of playing time earlier. Sarah Warner, who gets a fair amount. She doesn't usually come out, if we're being honest. And Lexi Charlemagne. I mean, she hasn't gotten any playing time yet tonight, but in the games past, she's gotten a fair amount. So, and then I mean, we do have our lone freshman on the varsity team, Erica Juten, and they're all. I know there are a fair amount of pretty good freshmen coming too. So I think the future of GPL's volleyball team is in good hands. And if you did not hear what I was saying earlier, I mean, if we can win tonight to improve to 13 and 12, and if we win our first game of the playoffs, we'll have a record of 14 and 12 going into the second round of the playoffs. Like I said, and that will be, and with 14 wins, that will be the second highest win total in GPL history. I believe the win total was 18 or 19, surpassed by the team in 2014, I believe, when I was a freshman, so 4 years back. And I think they had a record of like 18 and 6 or something like that. They were a very, very, very good team. Yeah, they had a lot of seniors. Great dig there. I let that flew all the way back and into the back zone there. Huge point. Panthers are at set point tonight, or in this third set. Once in the serve received by Lindbergh to Gomez to Thyan. That's Lent, and that will fly out off of hands. And Richter will take a seat now for Emily Kranz. And Erin Combs is now on the serve for Waverly South Shore. Serve received by Cluck to Scone to Fritzy, knocking it over. That's Combs to Carpenter to Kranz. That's Lent to Scone, knocking it over. That's Combs to Carpenter to Kranz. Can the net fall down? And it'll be a point for GPL, getting the 25th point of the third set, and they will win the third set. There you have a 2-1 lead here. I'll be back in about 3 minutes to see if the Panthers can close out the Coyotes. right, we are back here with the fourth set. GPL is up 2-1. So let's see if they can close out. I mean, almost everybody's parent, I mean, except for the crazy far ones. Like we have a girl, sophomore Emily Ashton, who plays on the JV team. She's from Canada, so I mean, her parents obviously could not make it. But most of everybody else's parents came tonight. So I mean, if we get a really good, probably the best win of the season, if I'm being honest, probably the best win of the season here, if they can get the W here. Your point for the Coyotes here up at an early 2-0 lead. Because like I said, if we get the wins tonight, it'll be give them great momentum going into the postseason. I mean, I don't think we can get past Warner or Northwestern, but I mean, it'd be still great to watch our girls play against them. We're gonna have Krantz the push there. That's Cluck to Scone to Gosh, and that'll fly out just by a bit though. It's 3-0 opening up in this fourth set. Let's see if GPL can make a bit of a comeback here. Can't let things get too out of hand. Let it hit the net and fall down off of Carpenter's serve. Scone on the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh to Comas. To Krantz with the push. Saw that going coming. And now see, I can say all I want, be like, oh, I saw that one coming. But it's like, if you're out there, I mean, you can't assume that they're going to like just tip it right over. Because if they do kill it, then and you were expecting a tip, then it's just, yeah, then people are like, wow, I mean, she's going to kill almost every time. Why don't you do it? And so it's one of those things where it's easier said than done. But I don't blame our girls for doing what they did. All right, we're going to have Lent with the outside hit coming. Partially blocked there by Thyan. Coyotes can't recover off of that one. You point for GPL. Lent in the serve. Just barely getting over. Service received by Lindbergh. Good effort by her. Now Krantz hitting it over. Then Cluck could not get to that one. It's a 5-2 lead. Comas on the serve for Waverly. Serve received by Warner, going right back over. Krantz is ready for that one. And the Panther, a little miscommunication, but they get it over. Could have been better though. And Thyan partially blocked there by Warner to Lent, to Scone, to Gosh in the middle. That was blocked there by Krantz. Timeout by Coach Swirl. It is now 6-2. And now we're back in about 60 seconds. All right, and I am back. You know, you guys are probably like, "Oh gosh, she's back, not again." Hey, you only have you only have me 4 at most. This is like the last that I'll probably ever do. It's just very sad, very heartbreaking for Aiden. But whatever, you know, life moves on. Alrighty, we're gonna have Krantz with the hit there, and nice dig there by Cluck. Can she get it back over? And she does. Nice job by Cluck. We're gonna have the other Krantz hit there. Cluck with another dig. And that's Warner there getting blocked by Thyan, I believe. And Waverly's rushing out to a 7-2 lead this time. We're gonna have Comas now on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone to Charlemagne. I didn't see her. She's getting her first action of tonight's game. And she'll knock it over. And they were ready for it. It's a point for GPL. Lead is down to 4, 7-3. And Charlemagne now comes back out for Warner, I believe. I believe that's who she came in for. I'm not entirely sure. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Comes to Kranz in the middle. Partially walked up by Select. And Cluck couldn't get to it. It's now 8-3 in favor of the Coyotes.
Serving for the Coyotes, number 9, Allie Kranz.
Kranz on the serve. Serve received by Cluck with a diving dig. Nice job. That's Lent hitting it over. It's Diane to Comes to Kranz. Now it's going with the push. That's Kranz to Comes to Thyan. And Cluck cannot get to that one. And it is now 9-3 in favor of the Coyotes. Comas on the serve, or that was Kranz on the serve, I should say. That was Warner with the push, Lindbergh, and nice job by Warner. Coyotes are ready for that one.
Point Panthers.
Point for the Panthers. Fritzy on the serve. Serve received by Lindbergh to Comas to Kranz, and Cluck didn't get to that one either. 10-4.
Serving for the Coyotes, number 8, Lindbergh.
Lindbergh on the serve now. Serve received by Fritzy to Scone to Lent. That's Lindbergh to Comas to the other Comas, and that one will fly out the back. Kill for Comas. That's a fun saying. Lindbergh on the serve. Serve received by Lent to Scone to Schlecht. We're going to have Comas once again. That'll fly out off of Fritzy. It's 11-4. 12-4, I should say. So looks like Waverly is the one that's going to be blowing out us in the first. I mean, hey, you never know. But it looks like that's the way this is going to go. And another ace as Coach Weatherwell takes. Point for the Coyotes, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds with the other half of the game. All right, and we are back coming out of the timeout. Miranda B-State getting a little bit more playing time tonight. And then on the floor for we have what looks like 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, and 2 seniors. So a bit of spread out classmen right here as Lent hits it. Dig by Kranz to Comas with the push. Ben's ready for it. We have Carpenter to Comas, out to the other Comas. Nice dig by Lent, and ooh. Can they get it? I mean, this ceiling's pretty high. It's pretty hard to get it all the way up there. And Comas with the hit there. That was dig by Lent to Warner to Lent back. And it'll be point for GPL. They're going to call a lift on Comas. Warner on the serve now. That barely gets over, and it'll be a point for the Panthers. Still down 7 though. It's 13-7. Warner on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to, well, that was Comas knocking it over. We're gonna have to go with the push. It's Comas to Crayons, to the other Crayons. We're gonna have Lynn with the hit there, and she'll get a kill. Crayons couldn't get to that one in time. Point for the Panthers. Warner on the serve, and that'll, and the Coyotes recover. They cannot. It's an ace for Warner. Panthers pull within 5. Warner on the serve once again. Barely gets over. That's Carpenter to Comas to Crayons. Now Schleck knocking it over. That's Lent. Just going. Back to Lent. And that's blocked by Crayons. And it'll hit the pole, and it'll be a point for Waverly. Getting the lead back up to 6. Lindbergh on the serve. We're going to have Schroeder now coming in for Emily Crayons. Serve received by Bisick to Scone to Schlecht. Spike there. And Comas. Nice job by Warner to get her hands up. And that was Schlecht knocking it over. Then have Comas. Nice dig by Warner to Lent, and that was Schlecht pushing it. We have Carpenter with the tip right over. Nice dig by Warner. And nice job of the Panthers to get that one over. Huge volley going on right now. Nice job by Scone. Can the Coyotes recover? It's a joust. Nice job. Nice, good communication by our girls. We have Comas here, and that'll fly out. Point. For GPL, it looked like Waverly coach there wanted a tip.
Serving for the Panthers, 15. Schlecht.
We'll have Kristen Cluck now taking a seat. As looks like Lexi Charlemagne comes in. That's out. Point for the Panthers. Pull within 4 now. 14-10. Schlecht on the serve. Serve received by Schroeder to Comas. To Charlotte, and that was knocking over. That was Charlemagne to Scone. To Lent with the push. We're gonna have Comas here. Blocked. Nice job by Charlemagne. And the Panthers recover. Nice right there. I mean, Lent's flying her body all over the floor. Nice efforts there. But she can't keep that one in play there. And it is now back up to 5, 15-10. Carpenter on the serve. Nice. Nice service here there by Bisick. Coming all the way over for it. And Panthers are ready for it. A little bit of miscommunication. And they already have both their timeouts used up here in the second set. So Coach Wardle can't call another one. I'll have to let it play as Carpenter serves that one into the net. 16-11. As Bisick now comes out for Fritzy.
Number 9, Anna Fritzy. Serving number 1, Reagan Scone.
It's going to the serve. Serve received by Schroeder to Comas to Crayons. Nice dig there by Cluck to Lent, and Fritzy with a nice push. Comas again. They hit the net, and yep. And I was gonna say they should give the points to GPL, and they do.
Point Panthers.
Point for the Panthers. It's going to the serve once again, and it's an ace. Miscommunication between the two Comases. 16-13. It's going to the serve. Serve received by, I believe that was Carpenter. And it'll be an Kill there for Comas, I believe. It's Cluck going to get that one. It's 17-13.
Serving for the Coyotes, number 6, Peyton Coleman.
Peyton Comas on the serve. She has a huge run up. I don't know if she'll be able to do that in most gyms, especially in Summit's old gym. And Charlemagne will hit that one over. We're going to have Thyman there, and so that'll hit the net and fall down. Point for GPL at 17-14.
Serving for the Panthers, 7, Natalie Lent.
Once on the serve. Serve received by Kranz to Comas. Back to Kranz. It flies out. The lead is now 2, 17-15.
Point Panthers.
Once on the serve. Serve received by Lindberg to Comas to Thyman with the push. That's Charlemagne to Lent. Scone barely getting that one over. A little bit of put and nice push by Scone. They're ready for it, and it's 17-16. And Waverly South Shore will call a timeout. I'll be back in about 60 seconds to see if the parents can keep their streak going. All right, coming out of the timeout, we'll have Natalie Lent here on the serve. Serve received by, that was Kranz. We're going to have Warner in the outside hit coming, and that'll be out. Just barely, though.
Point Coyotes.
3 point for the Coyotes, up 2 now to 18-16.
Number 15, Emily Kranz. Serving number 4, Gomez.
Comas on the serve. Serve received by Cluck to Scone, back to Lent. Lindberg with the dig. We're going to have Kranz with a spike. Partially blocked there. Nice job by our girls. We're going to have Warner. And she'll get the kill. So it flew off of Comas. It's 18-17 now.
Serving number 25, Kristen Cluck.
Kristen Cluck on the serve now. Serve received by Lindberg to Comas. To Kranz, that one flies out. It'll be a point for GPL. It's tied right back up, 18-18. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Lindberg. To Comas, to Kranz with the push. And Scone with the tip, or with the push, nice push. And the Panthers have the lead for the first time in this fourth set, I believe. Cluck on the serve. Serve received by Carpenter to Kranz. To the other Kranz, I believe. There's not 2 Kranzes out there. What am I talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. We have Lent to Scone to Select. And that flies out. Be a point for GPL, and it is 2018 GPL. See if the Panthers be a great win here, a great comeback. The Cluck on the serve, received by Carpenter to Comas. And that was Kranz on the hit there. We're gonna have Select in the middle hit coming. And nice effort there by the Coyotes, but they can't keep that one in play. It is 21-18, and Waverly calls their second timeout of the second set, and I'll be back in about 60 seconds. right, coming out of the timeout, last timeout of the fourth set for either team. So we'll have to play the game, how it goes for the rest of the game. And Krantz will have that one fly out. It's 22-18 Panthers. See if they can close them out. It'll be a great, great win. Cluck on the serve, received by Carpenter to Gomez, to Kranz. Dig by Cluck. He's going with the hit over. That's Lindbergh to Gomez. And nice. Wow. I don't know how to describe that, if we're being honest. I really don't. But either way, the Panthers get the points. If you guys didn't see it, just rewind. I mean, it was one heck of a play. 23-18. And it's an ace. And the Panthers are now within 1 point of knocking out Waverly, their biggest rival. Be a great, great win for our girls. Let's see if they can do it. Cluck on the serve. Game point for GPL. That's Lindbergh. We have Kranz here. Dig by Lent. To Scone. To Schleck with the push. It's Kranz. To Gomez. To Thyman. Nice dig there by Fritzy. She'll have to knock that one right back over. That's Thyman. To Kranz with the push. It's Cluck. To Scone. To Warner outside. It's Warner. To Scone. To Schleck in the middle. And she lands it! And the and Great Plains knocks off Waverly in 4 sets. A great, great win for GPL. Best win of the season, in my opinion. And the Panthers improved to 13-12. They go into the postseason, riding a 3-game winning streak. The Coyotes fall to 16-11, I believe. Well, guys, as I said, it's a great, 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 great win to end my commentating career off on. I hope you guys had fun this season. I had a lot of fun. And I will see you next fall. I won't see you next fall. Whoever commentates next will see you. It was a great night. And we'll see you guys next fall.